Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're gonna do a little Q&A, go over some questions. I asked on YouTube any questions you guys have for me and got quite a bit. A lot of them were repeating, so we'll go over those ones first. Okay, the biggest one, how did you get into crystals? So my family actually has worked in this business for my entire life. My grandpa owns a bunch of mines. My mom carves sculptures and cabochons, lots of lapidary. They were always at the mine, always at the gem shows, always cutting, carving. They opened a crystal shop probably in around 2009 in the small town I was from. And I actually worked there in high school. And I'll be honest, I wasn't as into it when I worked there. I just watched Vampire Diaries and I waited for customers to come in and then help them check out. But after he closed that, he needed help selling online. And I had just had my daughter. I was kind of lonely at home. We needed extra money. So I started helping him sell online. I also tried to do like silversmithing and I was selling cabochons for him. And it was just going surprisingly well. The more I was selling them, I had to learn about them to sell them. So I just started getting more into it. Whenever I'd see one that I'd like, I started collecting them based more on just the beauty of them. And then I got more into the energies and all of that as time went on too. So that's kind of what got me into crystals. The next question, how did you get your business started? So like I said, my grandpa had a bunch of inventory that he needed me to sell at first. This was after I was already selling the cabochons and I wanted something to be more mine. So I came to him and told him that I wanted to start my own business, but I would still like to sell his stuff for commission to get started, because starting a business is kind of hard. You need money to get your first inventory. So I was very fortunate to have his help with that. So I had some of the stuff from him already, and then I just started, as money was coming in, I was reinvesting everything into sourcing my own crystals and getting more inventory for myself. Okay, number 3, how did you grow so fast? So I started on Instagram and I was just posting so consistently. I posted every single day, even if it wasn't the best, but I also really did try to get aesthetically pleasing, pretty photos. I feel like it was easier back then because videos weren't as much of a thing and photos were just easier to take. However, now I feel like it would be easy still because TikTok is a great way to get a ton of eyes on your content. So content was huge. I also started on Etsy, which was great because I was getting, I think it was like 80% of my customers were coming from the Etsy search and not just from my Instagram. So I was getting a lot of sales already just from having Etsy rather than a website. So that was great. Etsy has a lot of fees and stuff though, so eventually I did move to Shopify. What crystals come from your grandpa's mine? So he has a lot of mines. He has the snowflake obsidian is the biggest one, which he's sold all over the world. You've probably seen snowflake obsidian from his mine. Rhodonite, lucerne variscite, Picasso jasper, zebra jasper, Deer Creek fire agate. He has some other claims too that we don't get as much material out of. I feel like I've missed some too, but those are like the main ones that I'll sell or that I've been to. Can you do a tour of the office setup? I think that would be fun. So yes, stay tuned for a future video of that. How do you decide which products to buy versus which products to pass on? That is completely quality. I love sourcing in person, especially larger pieces, because in the past, I've gotten huge spheres online just through email the supplier. And when I get it, I'm not happy with it and I paid a ton of money for it. So that's really frustrating because then I have to sell it for either what I paid for it or sometimes less even. So larger pieces, I love to get in person, and I feel like I'm just good at seeing good quality now. I've just learned over the years. But then also just if I know something's very unethically sourced, I pass. I've been doing this for a while too, so I kind of know like what sells good and what people don't love as much, and then just what people are asking for. Just really take everything you guys say and try to listen. That's what I try to always get. What are some of the toughest things you had to navigate with my business? Probably just balancing work and family life. I feel like when you're starting your own business, I've just always been like, go, 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 have to post every day, have to do this. And then even when I'm trying to be present with the family, I'm sometimes thinking, oh, I need to do this. I still need to respond to that email. So it's hard to kind of separate the two. Whereas other jobs, you just get off at 5 and then you're home with your family and present. Mine's kind of like everything's going on in my mind at once. So that I'm still working on. For example, too, when I gave birth to my son, I was like answering emails 2 hours after in the hospital bed because you can't just, like, I didn't have anyone helping me, so I still had to just keep it going. So sometimes that's been tough, but I'm super grateful still. I think now that'll get easier too, that I hired. Andrea helps a ton, and I hired one other person 2 days ago. So that's gonna take another big load off. It's making it easier for me to be present with the kids when I'm with the kids, and that's the most important thing to me. Okay, how many kids do you have and what ages? I have 3 kids, a 1-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 6-year-old, and they're the best. Okay, what's your favorite thing about owning a crystal shop? Oh, so many things. I think owning a business in general has just gave me so much freedom, especially as a mom, to kind of make my own schedule. It's also very rewarding to see things grow and know that I've put a lot of work into something that is impacting other people in a positive way. I love getting positive feedback. I love hearing other people's stories, how crystals have helped them. Yeah, so many things. I love being able to go to gem shows. I just love crystals now, so I mean, it's a big win-win. When I get orders too, it's like I get to go crystal shopping because I get first pick. I get dibs. I got a new job. What crystals would you recommend in the office? I love fluorite. I have a little fluorite candle holder that I have my pens in. And fluorite is great for focus, which I feel like is needed in the office or at work. It's also great for communication. Another great thing. Citrine is great for like success and abundance and prosperity, which is great for work-related things, just being successful. So those would probably be my top 2. Where do you get your crystals? Everywhere, all over the world. I have a lot of different suppliers. Again, super grateful for my grandpa because he's been in this industry for over 40 years. I've gotten a lot of connections through him of manufacturers that are family owned that he's friends with. So that's been great. But I still love going to gem shows. I love meeting new people in the industry. Yeah, some come from his mines, some come from Brazil, India, Madagascar, China, America, Canada, Mexico, just everywhere. How much money do you make? So with running a business, I'm not making all the money, obviously. And for a few years, I was mostly reinvesting everything into new product, better packaging, supplies, you know, a computer, just things that you need to run a business, marketing things. I used to pay for ads, but recently I do pay myself, which is great. So I pay myself a salary that's not a ton, but it's enough for my family. David also runs his own business and pays us as well. Yeah, and then I still just reinvest the rest of the money. I have 2 employees now that I pay. Yeah. Is it hard to separate work and family life? I kind of went over that. And yes, it is. Still working on it. Okay, and we'll end with this. My favorite 3 crystals. That's actually really tough. I used to always say fluorite was my number 1, and it still might be. There's just so many different varieties. There's always like rainbows, and you can just find some really good gemmy pieces. I love the color combo, the blues, purples, greens, clears, pinks. And like I said before, it's great for focus, and it just brings me a positive energy. So I do love fluorite still. We'll say fluorite. Oh, that's so hard. I actually don't think I could pick. Let's say if I were to just like name off quite a few. Fluorite, I've been really loving ocean jasper, anything with orbs. So also like Botswana agate, I've been obsessed with. Blue lace agate has always been a top for me for actually using. I like to carry it around. I feel like it does help my anxiety and stress a lot. I've been loving rose quartz lately, which is pretty basic, but just really high quality rose quartz with stars. I didn't love at first just because I had seen it so much. I think it was one of my first crystals. I was like, oh, everyone has rose quartz, but I have been loving that. It's been just bringing me a good energy. I feel like it changes based on where I'm at in life too. Maybe like different goals I have, different things I'm working on for myself, and self-love has been important, so that would make sense. Basically anything that's like high quality. I do love crystals for their beauty, so anything that has a really intricate, cool pattern, I love. Amethyst, amazing sugary amethyst. Labradorite, actually anything that flashes too, like a moonstone, labradorite, anything that has a really pretty bright Vibrant Flash, love. My collection is all over the board. But then based on the energy, probably blue lace agate and an amethyst. All of quartz, actually, oh gosh. I can't stop, see? Yeah. I don't know, I like them all. It depends on my mood. Okay, that's all the questions for today. If you have any more questions, just leave them below. Maybe I'll make another video like this if there's enough questions. And I hope this helped or hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Bye.